Hi everybody! Do you like to send flowers to make someone's day? I can show you a creative way to send beautiful flowers without breaking the bank. Please join me in this tutorial on the Hydrangea Blooms card. My name is Linda Faulkner. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Let's get started. Today I'm making this beautiful hydrangea card. It's made from the Beautiful Friendship stamp set, which includes hydrangea and some gorgeous roses, as well as some really pretty sentiments. I'll also be using the Stitched Nested Labels dies. These are the new label die that has come out recently with Stampin' Up! And I love the shape of them. Also, they are designed so that you can get two different colors. So you could do your label in white, and then there's a coordinating framelit that will go with it and be just about the right size to put a border around it. I'll also be using just one word, but I wanted to show you the stamp set. This stamp set is called A Wish for Everything. And look at all the sentiments that are there. It has sentiments for almost any occasion you would need. So if you just want to invest in one stamp set that covers almost every occasion, this would be a great one to get started with. I love hydrangeas. I had them in my home in Mississippi, and actually I have one bush that has a gorgeous blue hydrangea blossom on it here in Maine. I'm hoping there will be more of them, but they are just now blooming in the late summer. So here's my kit, all my supplies together. And I am going to just very quickly put the background on my card. I'm using a white card base. It's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And on top of that, I'm putting balmy blue. The measurement for the balmy blue is going to be 1/4 inch smaller, so it's going to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So let me grab some tape runner and get that put together very quickly for you. If you have trouble lining up layers, I try to do a corner. So if I can get this corner about right, usually I can smooth it down and I'll be in good shape for the rest of it. So that's pretty close. So this is a layer of balmy blue. Now on top of that, I'm going to do all my stamping. And so I've got another 1/4 inch. So this layer of white cardstock is going to be 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And I'm going to do my stamping on that. I'm moving this out of the way. I hope you can see this is the hydrangea card we're making, and it has granny apple green and blueberry bushel on it. A little white tag. This is the ribbon. It's polka dot, and it's called polka dot tulle ribbon. This is 5/8 inch wide, and you get 10 yards of that. And it's hard to see it on camera because it's see-through, but it makes it perfect for almost any project. You can also color that by daubing it with any color ink that you'd like or spraying it. Also have just a little bit of linen thread on there, and I've stamped the hydrangea 3 times and then stamped it a 4th time on another piece of cardstock. Now the blue you're getting here actually came when I tried putting Wink of Stella on top of it, and I really like the look of that. It kind of smears the ink just a little bit, so I liked the extra color that it put on it. So let me go back to my stamping since we've got our inks ready. And I'm going to use a foam pad, and I'm going to just put a little piece of scratch paper, and this is coming from our Stamparatus cover page, cover sheet, I guess you would call it. So we will get started with our blueberry bushel. I love the new ink pads. I'm doing it backwards. You just pop it up And then I kind of push down because mine are still pretty tight. That will change as you use them more. So let's arrange this so you can see all of it. There we go. And my stamp set is called Beautiful Friendship. And this is the actual hydrangea that we're going to be using. So I'm going to put my cardstock on top and get that stamped. Remember, when you stamp with photopolymer, it doesn't have that extra cushion, so you need to add the foam pad. And you also make sure you're just tapping on your ink. Sorry, I think that wiggles the camera. And I'm just doing 3, kind of 1 in each area to make a triangle. And the stamp is designed so that it already gives you that shading. Your stamp, mine is stained just a little bit because the blueberry is such a dark color. It's kind of funny though, because the stain is a purple color instead of blue, but that's the only color I've used on it. So it's kind of interesting. And I'm going to move that aside and grab just a piece of scratch paper. It just needs to be bigger than your stamp. I think this one is 3 by 3. And stamp an extra one because I'm going to fussy cut that out and then pop it up just to give it a little extra dimension. The next step, I want to stamp my leaves. And on this stamp set, you get several choices. There's one that has 3 and one that has 2. I'm just using the smallest one for this project. I'm going to turn this, and I think I'm going to use it like that with the center one at the top, because I'm going to put my fussy cut hydrangea stamp right on top of that as soon as I get it fussy cut. So let me do that first so we'll have that to play with. And all I'm doing, and then we'll go back to the leaves. I'll explain why in just a minute. All I'm doing is cutting that with just a little bit of white left over. And I'm doing it fairly quickly. I'm not doing a whole lot of detail. There's not a die cut that goes with this set. That's too bad. That might have come in handy, but it's not going to take me long. All right, we have our hydrangea fussy cut, and that's going to be popped on just right on top of that one. And I like to actually match it up. So here we go. Just matching the flowers. So it's going to be about there. And then my large die cut leaves are going to go on this side. So I want to keep that in mind when I stamp my small leaves. And here again, this is the sample. So let me stamp my little leaves. And I think I'm going to follow the pattern. You notice they're not all exactly the same. I will never stamp the same thing twice, it seems like. And that's okay. I want to leave room for my leaves there, so I may put one here. And notice they're going to go off the page. That's fine. And I think maybe right here. I like having odd numbers, so I think I may just leave it at that. You can add more if you'd like. While I have my ink out, I want to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. And the sentiment for this card is wishes. Let me grab it to show you. It just has a little simple word wishes on it. And then I'm making this into a birthday card. So wishes is going to be stamped in the middle of my little scrap paper here in Granny Apple Green. And I'll be ready to cut that out in just a moment. While I still have my ink out, I find I save time and it simplifies my stamping if I can do bundle tasks together that use the same supplies. So since I already have my blue ink out, let's go ahead and take care of the inside of the card and the envelope because I'm doing both of those in blue. This is my blueberry bushel, and I am going to stamp my birthday greeting and a little tiny, let me show it to you. There we go. So we're doing birthdays are the best days, and then putting a little flower in the corner just for extra decoration. And the stamp set has several sentiments you might be interested in. So very happy to know you. Birthdays are the best days. I love our beautiful friendship, and a very big congratulations and best wishes to you. So that would take care of weddings, birthdays, friendship. Quite a few different occasions would work. So I have my little flowers, and I'm going to stamp those right here in the corner. And then I need to switch out my sentiment. I have my leaf on that clear block, which is a little large for it, but it worked. I was careful, so we were fine. The closer you can get your clear block to the size of your stamp, it usually helps eliminate extra ink that can get on your card and your hands. So there's my sentiment. Got it right the first time. That was lucky. Birthdays are the best days. So now we are ready for our big shot. With my big shot, I've got my platform, my thin die adapter, a clear plate, and then I've got Granny Apple Green with the 2 leaves, and those leaves are coming from the Magnolia Memory dies. That's a beautiful die set with Magnolia Lane. You may have seen some projects using that, but I've used this a lot with combining the leaves off of it with other projects. And let's see, what else do I need? I need the cutout for my wishes. It's right here. And I have my sticky notes over by my Big Shot machine. So I'm just gonna put the sticky part of a sticky note over that wishes when I run it through so that it doesn't move. I'll be right back. I've run these through the Big Shot now, and I'm gonna punch them out. That one comes out, that's almost falls out. That was easy. Maybe we'll have good luck with the leaves, and actually they are almost falling out. You will have to do a little bit of cleanup. Just simply punch, really just bend your leaf a little bit, and those seem to be falling out pretty quickly. So let me punch some of the extras out. When you use a die cut, the little circles, small little dot holes, that's what you use to push it out of the die. And then in this case, all the little extra pieces have stayed in my die. So I want to clean those out so that when I get ready to use it next time, I won't have to mess with them. But there are several of those that I'll need to punch out. And I have my 2 leaves and my little label that says wishes. So we are ready to finish up our card. So the next step is going to be putting it all together. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner to put the Hydrangea stamped images on the card. And I like the look of it when I have that single hydrangea in the center. I like that on top, like this. Makes it, I think it balances your card out nicely. And then I'm going to pop dot the extra hydrangea on top of that with some large dimensionals. I'm going to try to match it up so it just gives it a little extra when it has that other one underneath it, and I like putting it right on the same spot. To add my leaves, I'm going to use a small glue dot, and I'm just going to put it close to the stem and tuck it under and then press down. I don't want it to be adhered all the way down. You can if you want. You could use a tape runner and then just any extra tape runner that shows where the leaves have the openings in them. Just use your piercer to clean that out if you want to. And now I need to make my bow. This is sometimes the hardest part. I believe it's 24, not quite. Let's see, probably about 18 inches of ribbon. I'll put the actual amount. All of the measurements will be on my blog, and I'll put the link to that. It's going to be www.crafterinspired.com, and I'm going to put /hydrangea for this particular post, but you can usually find it if you get to the blog spot. All right. Okay, so here's what I have. It's kind of a mess. These polka dots are a little bit difficult to pull through because they catch, but it can be done. It's not too bad. So I make a bow, I make it bigger than I want it, and then I'll pull it and adjust it to make it kind of pretty. Sometimes I have to do it twice because it's too loose. Okay, I think that's about right. Well, it pulled out. You should never try to make bows on camera. It's a disaster waiting to happen. There we go. That works. Now I need to trim those tails at an angle. And I think that'll work. I'm going to use a large glue dot to attach my bow. You could use 2 small ones. Tombow, glue, whatever you have. And I like to put the ribbon, I'm going to tuck it right there. I think it's a good spot. Now, my wishes here, I'm going to punch a hole, and I like it to go, because it's angled this way, I like to punch the hole at the end of the word using my crocodile. So that will go here, and before I do that, I'm going to use a little bit of linen thread. I'd say I have maybe 6 inches. Might give yourself, I always like to give myself extra on ribbons and threads. It's a lot easier to cut it off than to try to work with a small amount. So I'm poked that, folded it in half, poked it through the hole, and then I'm going to bring the ends of the thread through that loop and tie it. And it just makes a nice, neat little tie. I am now going to tie that actually around my bow. So I'm just going to tuck it under the bow and tie a little knot. Now I'm going to cut the threads off the end, and that can be all the way down. I don't mind having a little extra texture. And if you'd like, you might want to put just a little glue dot underneath that. Actually, let's use a pop dot, because sometimes it can move to the point where it's off your card and might get bent in the envelope. So I'm just going to add a little miniature dimensional, and I can actually put it exactly where I want it. And then the last step is to add a pearl. Use your scissors or a piercing tool to grab one of those pearls. And I'm going to put it right, well, it's not wanting to cooperate. I'm going to put it right there, but that's totally up to you. It'd be pretty anywhere you want. Okay, so we have our card with hydrangeas that says wishes and their sentiment on the inside. Now, don't forget your envelope. We don't like to do naked envelopes. Let me show you some choices you have. What happens to me, and you can see on this one, is sometimes this one looks like sticky fingers got it, but sometimes I will have a little something residue gets on my envelope that I need to cover up, or more than likely it's ink from my fingers. So I want to show you, this one was all messed up on the bottom, so I just used that small flower stamp and just did a little border to cover up my ink stains, and then just added a simple one to the back. Here's another possibility using the little leaf stamp. Make sure that you've got something up here. I'll show you real quickly. You can put something underneath here so that when you stamp off, it's not gonna get on your envelope. And then at the same time, you're gonna need something on the other end. Let me grab it. So something like that. That will take care of you, and that way you can't mess up the rest of the envelope. And then the last one, I think I have another one, which is here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I did the same stamp off technique and just used the Hydrangea blossom stamp set. The little, I'm sorry, I'm not talking very clearly today. I used the Hydrangea stamp and stamped off to get that envelope. Very pretty. I have a lot of things going on. I wanted to just real quickly tell you about, because you can get some free stuff. And I don't know about you, but to me, free stuff is always good. So I have a BOGO sale going on right now. If you order something from the current catalog, and this is the current catalog, it will last all the way until next June. So anything from this catalog is for sale now. Christmas one is coming. If you order anything from this catalog on my BOGO sale, then you get the same amount free of free retired items. And all of that can be found at my blog, www.crafterinspired.com, and then /BOGO, B-O-G-O. And I had to look that up a few years ago when I first saw that term. That means buy one, get one. So you're buying new product and you're getting retired product for free. And some of it's brand new, actually. There's a few I didn't get to use. Most of it is very gently used. Lots of bundles and stamp sets. So that's a real bargain. You're getting one free. So please check that out. I'm also, there's a joining special. If you have an order that's $99 or close or more, you can get up to $66 worth of free stuff. And that's also, you can find information on my blog. If you look on the menu bar, when you get there, it's under specials. Just take a look at the specials there, and it's the extra promotion. You don't have to be a active demonstrator, meaning you don't have to have workshops. You can be a hobbyist, or we call it a discount shopper, because once you join, you'll get 20% off of everything in Stampin' Up. So it's a pretty good deal. Plus you get $65 worth of free product, and all of that is explained there on my site. The last one, and these all end in the end of August, so we have till August 31st. The last one is, I have a video on my YouTube channel. This is the Sailing Home stamp set, and it's in the Come Sail Away suite. Beautiful, beautiful stamps and images. But check out my video on how to make this card, and you can just leave a comment underneath it, and I'm giving away a free stamp set. So that you have until August 31st at midnight, and I think I only have 2 comments right now, so your chances are really, really good. So just take a look at the video and leave a comment on YouTube at the end of the video, and you'll be registered for that drawing. I think that should do it. We are great. The Christmas catalog called Creativity is Calling is going to go live on September the 4th. That's next week. So it's coming up. If you would like to get a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, please email me at linda@crafterinspired.com and leave your name, address, and phone number, and I will get that out in the mail to you. Lots of beautiful things I can't show you yet, but I'm getting ready to start creating with Christmas. As soon as I get the couple of videos finished, we'll be ready to get started on the holidays. Can you believe it's already here? Thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything I can help you with, just shoot me an email or leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Thanks again. Bye-bye.